you're looking for a top-of-the-line sewing and embroidery machine combo, the Baby Lock Altair 2 is a great choice. This machine will have hundreds of sewing, utility, quilting stitches. You're going to be able to do heirloom sewing. It does so many things built in. You don't even have to go to a computer. Everything is going to be on the hard drive of the machine. Then you go to the full top-of-the-line embroidery. The Altair will do a 9.5 inch by 14 inch area. We have the large touch screen built in on the machine. This has thousands of colors built in. We can change the screen up so that we can see it. There are a lot of controls just right at my fingertips, so I don't have to hunt what I'm wanting to change on my machine. The slick finish on top. This is a really pretty machine. Baby Lock has really done a great job on this particular model. So if we want to go in and we'll look at the sewing side first, and then we'll show you some of the embroidery. First thing you're going to notice, once I open the machine up, everything is going to be real easy for me to thread. It has the horizontal spool pin. Everything is going to be channeled for me all the way down to my needle, and then I do have the built-in needle threader. I do have the ability to override the speed of the machine. The Altair 2 will have a foot control that comes with it, but you also can use the start-stop button. So if you don't want to use the foot control, or while you're in embroidery mode, you'll use the start-stop button all the time. That makes it really convenient, and it's right there at my fingertips. Another great feature about the Altair 2 for pivoting, turning corners, when you're appliquing, being able to turn a corner, as I do have the ability to raise and lower my pressure foot right there for me. That makes it really great, so I don't have to reach around behind the machine and raise and lower the pressure foot. I do have a scissor at my beck and call. This will snip the bobbin and the top thread for me. Here I do have the needle up, needle down feature. I can set the machine to stop needle in the fabric or stop needle out of the fabric. I do also have the reinforcement stitch. You'll probably never use reverse again because of this. What this does for me, it ties the stitch off underneath so it's hidden and out of the way. So I don't have to worry about hitting reverse, but I do have the traditional reverse built in. If you'll notice, the entire bed of this machine is fully illuminated. I have LED lights everywhere, and these lights will pop out. It'll help you to thread the machine. It will help you to match your threads to your fabric, reducing glare and reducing eye strain. The top of the machine is very slick, so your fabrics are going to slide right across the top of them. Now I can sew with my embroidery unit attached. Sometimes you may want to do that because that's going to give you extra support. To the left of the needle, I can actually move the embroidery arm down and be able to do that, but it will come with a regular accessory tray that I can do all of my regular sewing. I can remove it, and it exposes the free arm of the machine. The Altair 2 does have the top drop-in bobbin system on it. It's just as easy to thread as the top of the machine. I have a channel on it as well, and a little razor that rate the excess thread. My metal needle plate will have markings for seam allowances, as well as the bobbin cover has markings. And I do have that 7-point feed dog system that's actually, the feed dogs will be touching my fabric in 7 different places. That really helps feed lighter weight material, not chewing the fabric up, feeding it all through nice and clean and flat while that needle's penetrating the garment. So when I go into the machine, we'll go into our sewing stitches. It'll tell me things that I need to make sure that I do. You're not going to do anything to make a mistake. It does all that work for you. Get that embroidery unit out of the way, and now I'm ready to sew. I'm going to zoom in on the screen of the machine to show you all the controls that are built in, just how easy it is for me to get to different portions of the Altair 2. The Altair 2 is a wireless machine. If you want to connect this to your home internet router, you're able to do that. This is going to open you up to a whole nother world of sewing and embroidery. What I'm able to do now is I can send a design wirelessly from my computer to the machine. You also can save a design to a USB stick if you don't want to connect it to your wireless router. Here I can go in and change a lot of things on the hard drive of the machine. Don't worry, you're not going to erase anything off the hard drive of the machine. I do have the ability here to change quite a bit on the machine. We can help you with any of these settings if you have questions of what they're for. Most of the things you want to leave at the factory default, but we do have all these controls. There's 10 pages of them, of things that I can change on the machine. I can go in and change needle positions. If I want to add a mouse, and instead of me touching the screen, I can use a mouse just like your computer, I'm able to do that. I can change sensors on the machine. I can change the volume of the machine if I don't want it to beep at all. Change the lighting brightness, all that just right at my fingertips. On the embroidery side of the machine, if I wanted to recognize a certain brand of thread or just tell me a name of a color, I'm able to do that really easy right here and just pull that up. once I get it like I want to hit OK, it's going to save that for me. So there's several pallets of thread on this particular machine. It will sew up to 1,050 stitches per minute, which is super fast. I can change it from metrics to inches right here, so I can read my designs. And now I hit OK and it saved everything. Once I'm in sewing mode here, everything is laid out for me. My utility stitches and my decorative character stitches are right here at my beck and call. So if we pull up a stitch, we'll pull up this overcasting stitch here. This is the actual size of this particular stitch. Here I can change my width and I can change the length right here. Certain stitches are only going to go so wide, that's factory default. We can go up to 7 millimeters in width on the Altair 2. This is the actual size of that stitch, so I don't have to do any more test sewing. The Altair 2 takes all that guesswork out for me. I can see exactly how it's going to look. Don't have to do a test out. On the right hand side here, I'm able to go into my different modes. Now this is utility stitches. I have other utility stitches here. They're all categorized for me. I can also mirror image a stitch, so basically it almost doubles the amount of stitches. This machine has hundreds already built in. If we're trying to get around, say, a seam or a pocket on a garment, sometimes hitting the mirror image makes a big difference. I also will have different styles of one-step buttonholes that are built in. It will come with a special attachment that I can place the button I'm working with, and it's going to size it every time to the button I'm working with. Now also it will show me up here what presser foot I need to make sure I have on the machine. The Altair 2 has letters indented on all the presser feet, so there's no mistakes there. Just match up the letter to letter. This machine does have the snap-on, snap-off feet for all your regular sewing, and then I'm able to go, I'm ready to go with no problem at all. We do have the ability to memorize different stitches. If I want to make a decorative border around something, I'm able to do that. Just hit the memory button. It's going to save those for me for making decorative borders. You also will have the decorative stitches on the machine. These are a lot larger stitches. You get a really bright color thread or embroidery thread on these, or if you're heirloom sewing, get you a wingtip needle here for this entre-deux stitch, and it really does make a difference of how that stitch is going to look when you install it on your material. Now let's go into the embroidery mode of the machine. The Altair 2 will automatically do everything it tells me to make sure I have the correct presser foot on the machine, and it's going to calibrate the machine to the embroidery units it knows. Now there are designs built in that are exclusive to Baby Lock. You cannot find these on any other machine on the market. So we'll go into some of these designs here. Notice how this little fishing fly, how it pops out. Look at all the detail. You're going to notice this on all your designs. The screen on this machine is super clear. Colors are going to pop out at you so you can see what you're doing. All I have to do is just match the color of thread up to what I'm wanting to embroider. The Altair 2 will show me on screen exactly what portion of the design that I'm going to be embroidering. Now it does have a built-in edit mode on it. It tells me up here my stitch, it tells me up here my design width and length. It'll give me other information about how long it's going to take to embroider this design out. So if I want to go in and add something, I can go in and hit add, and notice all the alphabet fonts that's built in on the Altair 2. I'm go in here, we'll just do a little quick letter. Hit set. Now I can drag this down and I can position it exactly where I want it. Up top here, it's showing me the 4 hoops that comes with the machine. You're going to get all those in the box. It's recommending the correct hoop for the embroidery that I'm doing. Once I get the design set up like I want it, all I have to do is hit embroidery, and the machine is going to tell me, and it shows me right here exactly what part of this little fishing fly, thread up red. If I want this to be a different color, here just thread up a different color and I'm ready to embroider it out. Up here on the screen, I do have other things built in. There are videos built into the Altair 2. If I don't know how to do something or forget how to do something, we're able to go in right on the machine and play a little video, or it gives me other explanation of how to do something. We're also here to help you, so you can pick up the phone, be sitting in front of your machine, and give us a call anytime. Within this design, if we're embroidering along, the power goes out, or somebody accidentally turns the machine off, as long as I do not move the fabric out of my hoop, I'm able to fast forward through the stitch count to right to where I left off with no problem whatsoever. We can fast forward through color changes and then fast forward through a stitch count within a color change to get to where we left off with no problem whatsoever, and just continue right on and no one will know that anything ever happened. Now I also have the IQ Designer Center. Here I can do a lot of things to a design. I can add things. Let's say that you want to create your own stippling pattern and merge that with your quilting. I'm able to do that in the IQ Designer. There's a great tutorial workbook available for the IQ Designer. We have sold literally hundreds of copies of them. We encourage you to take a look at that as well. If you get the Altair 2 and you want to know a lot more about the IQ Designer, purchase that workbook and you'll be able to master it in no time. We do have more information on the website about IQ Designer, how it works, but this is standard on the Altair 2. Ken Sewing Center is your authorized Baby Lock dealer. We carry every model Baby Lock makes. We can compare models for you and help you find the right machine for you. We have a great special going on the Altair 2, but if you need help picking out a machine or let us compare this to another model for you, that way we can find the machine that's right for you. We're just a phone call away or email away.